There's a secret power most women overlook, and it's not what you think. It's not about looking a certain way, saying the perfect thing, or playing some impossible game. It's about detachment. When a woman knows her worth, when she stands strong in her own energy, focused on her own life, her own growth, something incredible happens. Men can't resist her. Why? Because confidence is magnetic. Independence is intoxicating. When you stop chasing, stop overgiving, and start prioritizing yourself, you become the kind of woman who doesn't just attract attention, you command it. And today we're going to talk about exactly why that works, and more importantly, how you can start stepping into that power right now. Detachment is one of the most powerful yet underrated traits a woman can develop. It's not about being cold, uninterested, or distant. It's about emotional independence. It's the ability to be fully present in your own life, secure in who you are, without depending on external validation to feel worthy. When a woman masters detachment, she naturally shifts into a position of power, and that shift is something men, and people in general, can't ignore. Men are drawn to women who have their own sense of fulfillment. The reason is simple. Neediness repels, while self-sufficiency attracts. When someone is overly invested in another person's attention, approval, or presence, it creates pressure, and pressure kills attraction. On the other hand, when a woman is focused on her own life, her own goals, and her own happiness, she radiates a different kind of energy, one that is confident, effortless, and highly desirable. Think about the times you've wanted something too much. Whether it was a relationship, a job, or a specific outcome, the more you clung to it, the more elusive it became. That's because desperation disrupts the natural flow of attraction. The same principle applies to relationships. When a woman chases, overgives, or makes a man the center of her universe, she unknowingly creates an imbalance. But when she steps back, when she prioritizes herself, she becomes the kind of woman who is naturally respected and pursued. Men are wired to value what they must earn. This isn't about playing games or manipulating anyone. It's about understanding human nature. When something is too readily available, it loses value. When a woman embodies detachment, she isn't waiting for a man to validate her or complete her. She is whole on her own, and that wholeness is what makes her so compelling. She's not easily swayed by attention because she already values herself. She's not afraid of losing someone because she knows she'll be fine either way. This mindset creates a deep subconscious pull that men can't resist. Detachment also brings peace. Instead of constantly analyzing texts, seeking reassurance, or worrying about where things are going, a detached woman moves with certainty. She trusts that the right person will choose her without force, and if they don't, she doesn't take it personally. She understands that walking away from the wrong energy creates space for the right one. This kind of self-assurance sets a completely different tone in any interaction. Ultimately, detachment is about recognizing your own value so deeply that you never feel the need to convince anyone else of it. It's a quiet strength, an unshakable presence. And when a woman embodies this, she doesn't just attract men, she attracts respect, admiration, and the kind of relationships where she is truly valued. Confidence is one of the most powerful forces of attraction, and it has nothing to do with looks, status, or external factors. It's an energy, a presence, a way of carrying yourself that signals to the world and to men that you know exactly who you are and what you bring to the table. Confidence is magnetic because it radiates strength, security, and self-worth, which are qualities that naturally draw people in. At its core, confidence is about trust. Trusting yourself, your decisions, and your value. A confident woman doesn't seek validation from others because she already validates herself. She doesn't beg for attention or approval because she knows she's enough, whether someone sees it or not. And that self-assurance creates an irresistible pull. People, especially men, are drawn to those who exude certainty. When you walk into a room with the belief that you belong, people believe it too. When you interact with others from a place of ease and self-respect, they can't help but respect you in return. Men are especially sensitive to confidence because it signals security. A woman who is confident in herself isn't looking for someone to complete her, she's looking for someone to complement her. This shifts the dynamic from one of neediness to one of choice. And choice is powerful. A confident woman chooses who she allows in her life rather than waiting to be chosen. She sets standards not because she's difficult, but because she values herself enough to only accept what aligns with her worth. This makes her stand out in a world where many people are willing to settle just to feel wanted. Confidence also changes the way you communicate. A woman who is secure in herself doesn't second-guess everything she says. She speaks with clarity, without over-explaining, apologizing unnecessarily, or downplaying her opinions. She knows that her voice matters. She also knows that silence is powerful, that she doesn't need to fill every moment with words to be valuable. This kind of presence leaves an impact. It makes people lean in, pay attention, and respect what she has to say. Another key aspect of confidence is body language. Before you even speak, your energy speaks for you. A confident woman moves with intention. She makes eye contact, stands tall, and takes up space. She doesn't shrink herself to make others comfortable. She owns her presence. And that unspoken language is often more powerful than words. Men pick up on it immediately. It signals that she's not desperate for approval. She's simply existing in her own power, and that makes her fascinating. True confidence isn't about arrogance or perfection. It's about embracing yourself fully, flaws and all, and knowing you are still worthy. It's about not being afraid to walk away from situations that don't serve you because you trust that something better is ahead. When a woman embodies this level of self-assurance, she doesn't just attract men. She attracts the right kind of men, the ones who see her worth, respect her boundaries, and are drawn to her not because she needs them, but because she is already whole on her own. When a woman stops chasing and starts attracting, everything shifts. The dynamic changes from one of desperation to one of power. Too often, women are conditioned to believe they must put in all the effort, text first, prove their worth, overgive, and constantly seek validation to keep a man's attention. But this approach only pushes men away. The truth is, attraction works best when it flows naturally, without force. The moment you stop chasing is the moment you allow real attraction to take place. Chasing is rooted in fear, the fear of losing someone, the fear of not being enough, or the fear that if you don't do all the work, things will fall apart. But here's the reality. If you have to chase something to keep it, it was never truly meant for you. Healthy relationships don't require endless pursuit from one side. They require balance. When a woman chases, she unknowingly communicates that she sees herself as less valuable, as if she has to work to be chosen. And men pick up on that energy. They don't respect what is too easily available. It's human nature. People value what they have to earn. Attracting, on the other hand, is about standing firm in your self-worth. It's about knowing that you bring value just by being you. You don't have to convince anyone of it. You just have to embody it. This means focusing on your own life, passions, and growth. When you are genuinely engaged in your own happiness, you become magnetic. Your energy is lighter, your confidence is stronger, and men can sense that you are not desperate for their validation. This makes them more interested, not less. Men are naturally drawn to women who don't make them the center of their world. A woman who is happy on her own, who has a fulfilling life outside of a relationship, creates mystery and intrigue. She isn't predictable. She isn't waiting by the phone. She isn't over-explaining, over-texting, or over-analyzing. Instead, she is simply living her best life, and in doing so, she creates a pull that is impossible to ignore. This is not about manipulation or playing games. It's about understanding energy. When a woman pulls back and focuses on herself, it creates space, and in that space, a man is given the opportunity to step up, to pursue, and to invest. If he doesn't, then she knows he was never really meant for her. But if he does, it's because he truly wants to, not because he was pressured or chased into it. Attracting rather than chasing is about embodying self-respect. It's about allowing what is meant for you to come naturally, rather than forcing something that was never aligned. It's about realizing that love, real love, is not about proving yourself to someone. It's about two people mutually recognizing each other's value. And the moment you embrace this mindset, you stop feeling anxious about relationships and start enjoying the effortless power of being authentically you. The energy of self-worth is one of the most powerful forces a woman can cultivate. It influences every aspect of her life, how she carries herself, how she sets boundaries, how she interacts with others, and most importantly, how she allows herself to be treated. When a woman deeply understands her worth, she stops settling for anything less than she deserves. She no longer begs for attention, tolerates disrespect, or compromises her standards just to keep someone around. Instead, she moves with certainty, knowing that she brings value simply by being herself. Self-worth is not about arrogance or thinking you are better than others. It is about recognizing your own intrinsic value and refusing to accept anything that contradicts it. When a woman embodies this energy, she doesn't need to prove herself. She knows she is enough, whether someone acknowledges it or not. This kind of quiet confidence is intoxicating. Men are drawn to it because it signals security, emotional stability, and a deep sense of self-respect. A woman with high self-worth doesn't play games or engage in drama because she has nothing to prove. She is already complete on her own. The way a woman carries herself is a direct reflection of how she sees herself. A woman with strong self-worth walks into a room with her head held high, makes eye contact, and speaks with conviction. She does not shrink herself to make others comfortable or seek approval in every interaction. She owns her space, her opinions, and her presence. This energy is naturally attractive because people, especially men, are drawn to those who exude confidence and self-assurance. It makes them curious, makes them respect her, and makes them want to be around her. Boundaries are another crucial aspect of self-worth. A woman who knows her value does not allow mistreatment, manipulation, or inconsistency in her life. She does not tolerate half-hearted effort, emotional unavailability, or disrespect. Instead, she sets clear standards and expects them to be met, not because she is demanding, but because she respects herself too much to accept less. And when a woman operates from this place of self-worth, men respond differently. They see that she cannot be swayed by empty words or shallow gestures. They realize they must show up fully with real effort and consistency if they want to be in her life. The most powerful aspect of self-worth is the ability to walk away when something does not align. A woman who understands her value does not cling to relationships out of fear or desperation. She trusts that what is meant for her will never require her to beg, chase, or lower her standards. She knows that letting go of the wrong energy makes space for the right one. This unshakable faith in herself and her worth is what makes her truly irresistible. Ultimately, the energy of self-worth is a woman's greatest asset. It shapes the way she interacts with the world, the kind of people she attracts, and the level of respect she commands. When a woman fully steps into this energy, she no longer seeks validation. She simply is. And that, more than anything, is what makes her unforgettable. Stepping into your power is about fully embracing who you are, standing firm in your self-worth, and moving through life with confidence and intention. It's the shift from seeking validation to knowing you are already enough. It's the transition from chasing people to attracting the right energy effortlessly. And most importantly, it's about realizing that the most powerful thing you can do is be authentically you, without apology, without hesitation, and without fear of what others might think. To truly step into your power, you must first cultivate self-awareness. This means understanding what you truly want, what aligns with your values, and what drains your energy. Many women lose themselves trying to mold into what they think others want, whether it's in relationships, friendships, or career choices. But real power comes from self-ownership, from unapologetically being who you are and making decisions that honor your truth. When you stop trying to fit into a box and instead embrace your uniqueness, you naturally attract people and opportunities that align with you. One of the key elements of stepping into your power is emotional independence. This means detaching from the need for external validation. It's not about being emotionless or indifferent. It's about not allowing your self-worth to be dictated by how someone else treats you. When a woman is emotionally independent, she no longer waits for someone else to make her feel worthy, loved, or important. She creates that feeling within herself. She knows that a relationship should add to her life, not be the source of her happiness. And this mindset changes everything. Instead of clinging to people who don't value her, she naturally gravitates toward those who respect her because she respects herself first. Setting boundaries is another crucial step in stepping into your power. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about defining what is acceptable and what is not. A powerful woman does not allow herself to be treated poorly. She does not accept inconsistent effort, manipulation, or disrespect. She doesn't make excuses for bad behavior or lower her standards just to keep someone around. Instead, she communicates her boundaries clearly and walks away when they are not respected. This sends a clear message. She values herself too much to tolerate anything less than she deserves. And when she holds this standard, the right people will rise to meet it. Stepping into your power also means mastering the art of detachment. You must let go of the need to control outcomes and trust that what is meant for you will come effortlessly. This means no longer forcing relationships, over-explaining yourself, or trying to convince someone of your worth. When you let go of the fear of losing people and trust that the right ones will stay, you move with a new level of confidence and ease. Ultimately, stepping into your power is about living in full alignment with who you are, without shrinking, without seeking approval, and without compromising your standards. It's about knowing your worth so deeply that you never feel the need to prove it. And when you embody this mindset, you become unstoppable, not just in relationships, but in every area of your life. At the end of the day, the most powerful thing a woman can do is recognize her own worth and stand firmly in it. When you detach from needing external validation, when you stop chasing and start attracting, when you embody confidence and self-respect, everything shifts. You no longer waste energy on proving your value, you simply know it. And that knowing is what makes you irresistible. Men and people in general are drawn to those who carry themselves with certainty. They are captivated by a woman who is whole on her own, who isn't afraid to walk away from what doesn't serve her, and who radiates the kind of confidence that comes from deep self-love. When you step into your power, you don't just attract attention, you command respect. You don't just find love, you invite the kind of love that is worthy of you. So if you take anything away from this, let it be this: you are already enough. You never have to beg, chase, or compromise to be chosen. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right relationships will flow to you effortlessly when you fully embrace who you are. The moment you stop trying to prove your worth and start embodying it, you become truly unstoppable.